Boruto has finally reached its peak. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 78 was absolute fire! It begins with everyone reacting to Naruto and Hinata's disappearance. Pretty much reacting like this. Little Himawari then finds out she's officially an orphan now. Shikamaru asks Ada to investigate the situation with her Senragan, where she reveals the truth of Kawaki's betrayal. They hastily try to learn of his location, but he's physically invisible thanks to Ishiki's dojutsu, making him impossible to track. Boruto rushes home, which is when Ada casually announces that Kawaki plans to kill Boruto again. Sarada's all like, huh? Again? Remember, in chapter 69, Sasuke and the others told everyone not to inform on what Kawaki did in chapter 66, as it would cause him to be ostracized and panic the whole nation. So, with the truth revealed, and Boruto shouldering the entire burden himself, as his death was in order to protect the world from the threat of Momoshiki, she races after him, as Sarada can't bear the thought of Boruto being in danger and not doing anything to help. Help, she says. We're gonna get to that. Now let me tell you guys, the first part of Honkai Impact's third story is coming to a close. How will this 5-year story end? Will we get a happy ending? I don't know. What I do know is that there is a new battlesuit to have fun with. First up is her share of finality, Kiana. She's got a pistol, a sword, and some fancy moves. A total badass. Alos, another new battlesuit for Raiden, her share of origin. She attacks with her wing blades, and I can tell you just by looking at the gameplay that the movement is better than ever. There's also some Easter eggs hidden away for you guys too, but what's the fun in spoiling that? The final showdown is at hand, and it's up to you, yes you, to fight against Kevin and his summoned entities once the final chapter drops with loads of new content. By completing the new chapters, you also get brand new outfits for Seal and Li Shunxiang, just to name a couple. To celebrate the 5th anniversary, Honkai have organized local events in these areas for you all. Use code MKFINAL to get 30 crystals, 2,888 asterite, and a Hershey trial card with other great bundles available for new users. Now let's get back to the video. Let's start with Boruto being ambushed by Kawaki as he tries to trap him in a portal, but it's absorbed with karma. The two are standing upon the Hokage monument, mirroring the time skip scene from chapter 1. Kawaki admits responsibility for what happened to Naruto and Hinata, explaining that they are in a safe dimension where time has stopped. Therefore, they won't age a day or starve to death. But Boruto will never see them again. So that means if they were to ever be unsealed in the time skip, Naruto would be 3 years younger than all his classmates. Also, question, why didn't Ishiki or Sasuke do this? He would have won. Let me know your opinion in the comments.
That don't make no sense.
But our young lord dodges the tubes.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better.
However, one thing he can't quite master is Talk no Jutsu. It just doesn't hit the same as Naruto's.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Thus, committed to his ideals of wiping all Otsutsuki from existence, Kawaki lands what he believes to be the final blow on Boruto. But it doesn't do anything. These two brothers got more than just a Sasuke in them. Kawaki's got the dog in him. There's one risk using the cubes in battle, however, and that's because it reveals their location. You may think, well, yeah, there's gigantic cubes falling from the sky, you can't miss them, though. And you have a point. However, these cubes' main purpose, other than just being a thwomp, is to disrupt chakra signals, meaning there's currently an entire section of the city blocked off to Ino's chakra division, giving their entire position away. Their battle rages on as Boruto throws a thunderclap straight towards Kawaki, who dodges with style, a throwback to their sparring in chapter 58. Back then, Kawaki tried to use his non-existent karma seal to absorb Boruto's jutsu and got one shot, but this fight is now a sequel to that one. Beforehand, Kawaki refused to cooperate with their shinobi training, opting for a more violent approach of physical physical sparring where Boruto had to come in and protect Sarada from Kawaki's attack. He also was negligent in his chakra training. This time round though, Kawaki is 100% done with shinobi nonsense, taunting Boruto by calling him bro, as this relationship has moved past that. Did you know or notice that Boruto himself says my mother and father, and Kawaki states your mother and father instead of our, which insinuates Kawaki no longer being the second son. If you didn't notice that, make sure to hit the notification bell and leave a like on the video, because this is when Sarada rocks up to protect Boruto. Kawaki explains that if she doesn't leave now, he will have to kill her too. This further exemplifies just how far Kawaki has spiraled into obsessing over Naruto's safety. In chapter 62, Kawaki begged Code not to harm Konoha, and even offered up his own life in exchange, but he's quickly learned that shinobi are not fit for purpose of defending the world. That's why his karma reactivated in chapter 66 as he realized he needed to save Naruto, hence why he is now threatening Sarada, because although she is no threat to Naruto, she is trying to protect someone who is, meaning that in Kawaki's mind, she is his enemy. His care for Konoha is quickly dwindling as he is simping for Naruto increases. He even told Naruto that he is willing to go as far as needed to protect him, which is a callback to chapter 1 when Boruto tells Kawaki he never thought he'd go this far in relation to annihilating the entire village. Yup, Kawaki caught bodies, mate. Hopefully those new generation of ninjas we all don't like are all dead, because we don't need them.
Say that again.
Boruto asks Sarada to run, but she shouts all the more reason to stay as the future Hokage and pulls out a kunai. Kijimoto did Sarada dirty, alright. You can't have her declare her dream to become Hokage, only for her to fight with a kunai, not activate her Sharingan at all, and then become a damsel in distress one panel later. But I guess that's Kijimoto writing female characters for you. Mwah. But in all honesty, Sarada cannot keep up with their power scaling. She will feel guilty for putting Boruto in danger and losing his eye. Otsutsuki users learn everything about their fighting styles, abilities, and skills over time, gaining thousands of years of experience through a drip feed the more battles they fight in. Kawaki's still learning because, as you can see, he didn't use the rods at his disposal just like Jigen, as Jigen blocked Sasuke's sword and made quick work of anything they threw at him. However, Kawaki doesn't do this. Good news though, pretty much the Boruto and Sarada ship has been sailed once again. Naruto is going to become canon.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Boruto's promise is fulfilled, as in chapter 10, he aspired to become a ninja that can protect Sarada and her dream to become Hokage. In that moment, Sarada was simping for Boruto, stating his blue eyes are more so than Naruto's, noticing many things about him as she fell in love. Mitsuki claimed in chapter 69 that it's interesting that humans find it difficult to admit or understand their own feelings, referring to Sarada's denial of her romantic love. However, as Boruto jumps in to save Sarada from Kawaki's attack, he emerges with his scar. We waited 6 years for this moment, and it's finally here. Whilst Boruto bleeds out from his eye, Kawaki approaches to finally end his brother. Now, just before Boruto gets killed for the second time, Shikamaru pulls out by activating his shadow paralysis jutsu, whilst Mitsuki subdues Kawaki with his stretchy arms, and finally Konohamaru. He just stands there doing nothing, so let's change his name to, again, remember, Trashimaru.
So true.
We all remember what happened the last time he faced an Sasuke, right?
Bruh.
Kawaki is rendered completely useless. He can't use his Hakuna Matata jutsu, nor can he use his karma. Now you might be thinking, why didn't Kawaki summon some of his gigantic tubes or rods towards Shikamaru and Mitsuki? Well, Kawaki, unlike Ishiki, has a lesser chakra pool, and after teleporting Naruto and Hinata to another dimension, his chakra is running running low. There's also the notion that Kawaki's battle IQ and chakra control isn't the best, at least when compared to those of fully fledged shinobi, bringing us back to how this battle is a complete contrast to chapter 58, where Kawaki outright disagreed with the shinobi way and training. Under Jigen's tutelage, he had honed his skill as a killer with grueling combat drills. The idea of training as a shinobi is a joke in comparison. However, Kawaki's training was orientated around the use of his karma and scientific enhancements, with the idea of him becoming an Otsutsuki vessel. Using chakra as a shinobi was never in the picture, so when he fought Boruto in chapter 58, he lost. Kawaki instinctively relied on the karma seal he did not have, but now that it's returned, it was easily able to best Boruto. But the flaw of not understanding the advantage of the shinobi way will ultimately be his downfall. Ironically, the training session Kawaki raged out on was supposed to be an important chakra control drill. This, funnily enough, is the same mindset of Momoshiki and the other Otsutsuki. They believe in absolute power, disregarding the concept of ninshu. Although jutsu itself, and chakra originates from the Otsutsuki, Hagoromo and the humans were able to utilize this power with their imagination, creating new techniques that even the Otsutsuki weren't familiar with, much like the creation of all things technique that Hagoromo used and Sage Mode. Remember when Urashiki saw Mitsuki's Sage Mode? He found it interesting and didn't know what it was. Likewise, Kawaki, though he wants to rid all the Otsutsuki, he is relying on their power and way of thinking. This ultimately is a clash of ideologies, as both parties have proof of how their outlooks are flawed. It's a debate. Boruto will utilize the very thing Kawaki looks down upon, and use his ninja way and pure eye to catch up to Kawaki's Otsutsuki powers. Kawaki can't keep up with Ishiki's use of jutsu, and will never reach full potential without ninja training. After all, we know he has a whole new level of power waiting to be tapped into, as right now he's fighting without Ishiki's horn, which we saw him use in chapter 75's flash forward, where he unlocks another stage of the karma. Another important factor to consider is Kashin Koji. Yeah, it's been a while since we have heard from this guy, but he is not dead, and like Kawaki, he had the goal to eliminate Otsutsuki from the world. In fact, he was programmed and created for this very reason, as stated by himself. However, after Ishiki reveals Amado played Kashin Koji 2 as a tool, his goals could have slightly changed. Being the amazing spy he is, Koji likely knows what is going along with Amado's intention. Furthermore, Ishiki explains that Kashin Koji's pride as a shinobi was the human weakness that Amado preyed upon to use him. This is the same weakness Kawaki is now trying to erase from the world. Therefore, it makes sense that Kashin Koji of all people would resonate with Kawaki's methods to bring about a new era and help him. So to foil Amado's plan and get revenge for being used as a pawn, he could end up helping Kawaki in his pursuit. Ada and Damon will likely be in their team too. Kawaki admitted he has a similar wavelength with Ishiki in chapter 39, and that has been highlighted with his similar statement of destiny in chapter 78, as he states, "You shinobi really are destined to die early," which parallels what Ishiki states to Kashin Koji, that your genes are predestined to die here. But for the time being, to shut down Kawaki for good, my goal, my guy, Batman Sensei returns to the story to further subdue Kawaki by putting a blade to his throat. Sasuke! Yay! Sasuke, my guy. Sasuke tells Kawaki that if he goes any further, he will have to kill him. After all, it's Sasuke's job to kill Boruto if Momoshiki ever reappears again. But luckily, Boruto has that all under control again, right? Oh, come on! Momoshiki takes control once again, saving Kawaki, telling him to run and escape. Now many people in the community, as well as everyone in the story, are a little bit confused there. So allow me to explain. Welcome to my classroom. Boruto has already died once before, and Momoshiki sacrificed his full resurrection to revive him, so that his own soul would not cease to exist from the living, as his body is an anchor point. However, that was a one-time only move. If Boruto dies again, Momoshiki will too. Thus, he will do everything he can to keep him safe. But he's already declared in chapter 54 that he intends to feed Kawaki to the 10 tails to complete his life's purpose. That's right, this dude's life purpose is to plant a tree and eat that fruit. Therefore, although he knows Boruto is Kawaki's target, he ultimately can't let either of them die. That's why Kawaki was able to force Momoshiki into absorbing his flames when he set himself on fire against him. Thus, Momoshiki momentarily switches teams. Let's not forget, Momoshiki has seen fragments of the future, so he can comfortably act, knowing that he will always be multiple steps ahead. But most importantly, Momoshiki needs to break Boruto's will, to the point that Boruto has no choice but to retreat inside his inner psyche, as stated in chapter 72, as that is the moment when his soul breaks. Momoshiki will overpower him and take full control. That is why Tonori states that Boruto's pure eye is the star of hope that can save the entire world. It's the only jutsu that can fight against the dark future. Momoshiki tells Boruto that you have lost it, that blue eye, and that he is heading one step closer to his prophecy. His eye is gone forever, as even Momoshiki's Byakugan has a cut in it, meaning Boruto must keep it shut at all times to reduce the risk of Momoshiki or finally unlock the pure eye. Now, while we wait for that though, you can check out more peak fiction by understanding how Sarada will gain a new Mangekyo Sharingan we have never seen before to keep up with them. Bye bye.